welcome back to the channel. Masak with me. Masak means cook in my Malaysian language. Today we'll be preparing Nasi Lemak with fried chicken, coconut rice, and some sambal. First we're going to do the marinade for the fried chicken, and I chose wings to fry and also some chicken strips because one of my daughters do not like chicken wings. She likes chicken strips. So today we have half a red onion that I chopped up, just roughly cut. I'm gonna put it in a blender, and this is just the marinade for the fried chicken. It's a wet batter instead of dry, and we'll have 4 garlic cloves, and this is galangal, and this is ginger. So galangal, I'll cut it up a little bit more. It's a little tough, and galangal is cousins with a ginger. More citrusy than the ginger and no spice, but it just gives it that citrusy flavor. It makes it much easier in the blender when you cut it up like this. Same goes for the ginger. And so about this much, because we have about roughly 3 pounds of chicken wings and maybe half a pound of chicken strips. I like a lot of ginger, but it's up to you if you want to put maybe half of what I put in just to get the flavor. That's fine, but I like to bite into crispy fried chicken with a little bit of a ginger hint to it. And I'll add a little bit of water into the blender. I'd say about maybe a cup or half a cup. I really want it blended finely, really fine, so I need to add a little bit more water, just slightly. And push the rest of the ingredient down so they can be even. Beautiful. So this is the consistency you want to have. Let me remove this. So this will be your consistency. Really finely chopped, really finely blended, like that. Okay. So here's our chicken. In there. I'm going to add some water to get all of it. since it's a wet batter anyways, so we want some of that water. The next ingredient will be turmeric powder, and I'm going to use all of this. So this would be 2 ounces, okay? So it's 2 ounces should be fine. And we'll have cumin powder. Cumin powder, just 1 tablespoon. I would say this, for this portion of the spoon, it's maybe a tablespoon and a half. That's all we need. Same goes for the coriander powder. Coriander powder, I'd say about a tablespoon and a half as well. Okay, and we want to mix it in. And I will want to add some salt. And for salt wise, I would go for like 2 tablespoons for salt wise, so that it'll be evenly seasoned. And normally I'd season for about maybe overnight, or the least amount of time would be 2 hours. I recommend that, so the flavor will have time to soak it all in. And white pepper. Plenty of white pepper if you like a little bit of heat, but maybe I would say a teaspoon of white pepper will be good. I like to have like maybe about 2 teaspoons here for white pepper. Now white pepper is a little bit hotter than a black pepper. Alright. And then we'll add some flour. And I put about 4 cups of flour. Oh, I'm having a hard time opening this container. About 4 cups of flour. And then first we'll start off with 1 cup of water. Let's mix it up, and we'll gradually add water until, because it's a wet batter, so we want to mix it all in really well. Don't be afraid to get your fingers dirty. Now evenly mix it. Get all that seasoning, all the ingredients, the onion, the ginger, the galangal. Just let it sit. So we'll let it sit for an hour, or for 2 hours, guys.
Forgotten ingredients: 2 stalks lemongrass, finely blended.
Alright friends, next is preparing the rice, and it's coconut rice. So the Nasi Lemak means it's fatty rice, I call it, or milky rice. So it's coconut milk that we use. So today it's basmati. So basmati is a little bit longer rice grains, and I've already washed it 4 or 5 times to get all the starch out. And now with 4 cups of basmati rice, and what I do use, normally I would soak it for about 20 minutes in water, but this time we don't have to because we're going to be steaming it with the coconut milk, so it's going to make it really thick. Alright, so we'll put in about, for 4 cups we need 4 cups of coconut milk, and this is the brand that I use. And you can find it in your grocers, HEB, or maybe Asian grocers as well. I like to shake it up a little bit. So 4 cups of coconut milk. And then we need 2 cups of water. I'd say 1 1/2. 1 1/2 will be perfect. Because basmati rice is not like your plain jasmine rice that 4 cups of water goes with 4 cups of jasmine rice. But for basmati rice, it soaks up a little bit more of water. So you need to add that extra cup or extra cup and a half so that it'll be moist and not hard. So we stir it up a little bit like this. And we do need also pandan leaves, and I have about 5 pandan leaves that I tied up. Just drop it in there. And this is the brand that I get from the Asian grocers. And let's add some salt for seasoning. So salt, I only put maybe 1 tablespoon, and that's plenty. And let the rice cooker do its work. Alright guys, next is preparing the sambal that goes on the side with your Nasi Lemak. And these are the ingredients that you will need. I normally prefer shallots, but today the grocers, they ran out of shallots. So we're using half of the red onion, and we're going to blend it. Half of the red onion. And my family don't really care for spicy food, so I'm using sweet red peppers, okay? Sweet red peppers that I got out from this, and you can find this at your HEB grocers, Walmart, and they're just the sweet peppers. So this will just give it a like a pepper flavor, sweet pepper flavor, and your color red. So that in. Put this in. Chop them up. About 4 garlic cloves. And I have some dried chili, And these are the large red pepper dry chili. So I soaked them in water for about 20 minutes. And then we have the bird's eye dry chili as well that I've soaked together. So I'll just cut it up a little bit. You can de-seed them if you'd like, but this is the most of the spice that my family can handle. That's why I'm mixing it with the sweet red peppers. And this one here is your shrimp paste. They come in blocks, or you can get them in a jar, and it's shrimp paste. Basically, they're dried, salted, cured in the sun, and then just pounded, and that's how it becomes. It doesn't smell great, but it's the flavor. It's more like a shrimp flavor that we're looking for. And so we drop that in there, about roughly just 1 tablespoon. And then I have anchovies, and this is the packet that I have it in. So just anchovy, dried and also salted. And what I like to do is soak it in water just to get the excess salt off a little bit, because it is pretty salty. And so once it's already soaked in water, and I just take it out and blend it together. Almost forgot about the water, so we want to add just a little bit of water. I would say maybe 2 tablespoons of water to start off with. So I'd like it pasty a little. So I'm going to push this down so I can blend it again. Maybe 1 more tablespoon of water. Not that much. It does make a difference if you add water. And here's the consistency of the sambal. A lot would prefer to, on the dry chili, will have about roughly 15-20 dry chilies. And what they do is they blend it and fry it in oil first. Let the oil mix in with the frying the chili, and then the rest they blend it separate. But for my family, we love it with this recipe. It's much better, and because it's not too spicy for the dry chili. So now that we've got our wok heated with about 1/4 of a cup of oil, and we're ready to fry our sambal. So here's the fried sambal, and you can see the separation from the oil that's all mixed in with the chili, and that's what we're looking for before we add the turmeric juice. I mean, not turmeric juice, tamarind juice, I'm sorry. So this would be about 1 cup of tamarind juice. Pour in there and let it simmer down Let it simmer until the juice incorporates in all the sambal. And for this, you have to be careful before seasoning it since the anchovies was pretty salty. So taste first to see if you need salt. But if you think you want it slightly salty on the sambal, which most do, and I like it sweet salty, so I will add some palm sugar here in a minute after this dissolves a little bit more, and then we'll add the palm sugar. So about 5 minutes, this should come back to a little bit thicker. So we'll let it simmer down some. Alright, so now it's time to fry our chicken. And with the batter, it looks all coated pretty nicely. And we want that batter all on the chicken there when we fry it. So let's put it in. And I use canola oil for this, but you can use your peanut oil, vegetable oil, whichever you like. Alright guys, we're almost ready with the sambal. All we need now is just to add 2 tablespoons of the palm sugar just to sweeten it up. Melt it down, keep stirring. Just love the color and how the oil separates from the sambal. And by now, after cooking it, you don't really smell too much. The shrimp paste is not as pungent anymore because you have cooked it down. Alright guys, so this is how the consistency you want. Look at the oils that have risen up to the top and it separates from the sambal. That's how you know your sambal is ready to plate. Alright, and the last part will be frying some anchovies. So we want some crispy anchovies with some roasted nuts on the side of our Nasi Lemak. It'll be a garnish. I can eat these fried anchovies as a snack, watch your movie. It's just so good. Now I don't soak these in water when I fry them because I want that saltiness actually to go with the Nasi Lemak. So all you need is just maybe half a cup of oil and just fry them till they're crispy. And just golden brown. So they'll be like chips. Salted chips. Fish chips. And then so while this is frying till it's really crispy, I'll just like to add 2 handfuls of roasted, seasoned with sea salt. Cocktail peanuts is what I use. Now you can get the raw peanuts, but it's going to take time for you to fry it. So I just put 2 handfuls. That's just plenty. And roast them or fry them with the anchovies. Well, this is the result of our nasi lemak. And here we have our sambal, our ikan bilis, which is fried anchovies, roasted peanuts, our sliced cucumbers for garnish, and our coconut rice, fried chicken. Let's give it a taste. First, I want to try the sambal with the sliced cucumbers. Wow. Very good. So normally you take the sambal and you put it on top of the rice a little. You have your fried anchovies. And let's try the rice. The salty and the sweetness of the rice from the coconut milk, well balanced, perfect. Tastes so good. And let's try the chicken. I love the skin. So good and crispy. The salt is not overbearing on this, but definitely you can taste the ginger, the galangal, and the lemongrass. Perfectly fried and goes well together. Well guys, if you like what you see today, don't forget to subscribe, like, hit the bell button, and share. Until next time, be safe guys.